Give up!
I drop this and we all die.
I thought you were an analyst.
I thought you were a bodyguard.
The series begins in 1983 in Lebanon, where two young boys are sent to do the chores their mother asked them to do. Suddenly, fighter jets appear in the sky and start bombing the area, so the children get terrified and try to run for safety. The story shifts to present day in Washington, where Jack Ryan is rowing on the river and then heading toward his office on his bicycle.
Watch it, shithead!
And then continues to his workplace, where he works in the finance division. A man named James Greer is also working in a finance-related department, but he was previously an operative, and because of a mistake he made there, he has been demoted and transferred, and his superior warns him to behave properly and not cause any more trouble in this new position.
How was your leave?
Long.
This is the raid book that the outgoing chief. The group is mostly analysts, a couple of case officers. You'll have reps from Treasury and Justice. No one you'd know. It's a second chance. The one, frankly, that not a lot of people on this floor felt you deserved.
OSD should have it up online.
Morning. I'm James Greer. I'm your new group chief.
Jack Ryan. I work Yemen. I've been monitoring SWIFT network transactions in and around Aden. In the last few months, I have red flagged several of these transactions as potentially suspicious.
Suspicious?
It's anomalous to see large one-off SWIFT transactions to individuals, especially in Yemen. And normal SWIFT transactions usually occur in patterns. The individual behind these transactions could be a high-level target. I believe his name is Suleiman. It means man of peace. He just popped up on CTC Yemen's radar. The RH assets have mentioned him as well. He appeals to Shia and Sunni.
A brand new bin Laden on my first day. Who would have thunk it?
That's why I've actually written
Next.
Anyone know why you got PNG'd back to headquarters?
I heard he went all Colonel Kurtz in the desert, started making SAD, dipped the bullets in pig's blood, so anyone they killed wouldn't go to paradise.
Jesus.
In Syria, a lady named Hanin and some children are playing football. And basically, this is a family of Suleiman. But suddenly, several vehicles arrive quickly, and a man named Al-Radwan steps out and asks about Suleiman. Hanin warns him to stay away from her husband, but Radwan explains that one of their men has come, and that Suleiman himself has ordered that this man should stay at their house for a few days, but Hanin is clearly surprised and suspicious because the man does not look like them, as he appears to be American. Later, she secretly observes that these people are filling something inside olive oil bottles and load them onto a truck. Ryan receives a call from his ex-boss, Joe, who invites him to his birthday party, and at first Ryan refuses, but Joe insists, and Ryan says he will think about it. Later that night, he is unable to sleep because he keeps thinking about the suspicious transactions. So he goes back to the office early and starts researching deeply, and after doing a lot of investigation, he discovers that a company is involved in laundering around $9 million. He brings this to Greer and suggests that they should freeze the account immediately.
Sir, do you have a minute?
You bright boy? I got 5. What am I looking at?
These are financial transactions through an app called Track Euro. Every one of these transactions is linked to this account. Opened a week and a half ago in a bank in Aden by a Saudi import-export company. But the business license of that company is less than a month old.
Okay.
Of all the other accounts that I've been monitoring, only 2 have ever gone above 6 figures. This is it. We got them. Don't you think there are people on the 7th floor that would have loved this opportunity 20 years ago, the first time they heard the name Bin Laden? All I'm asking is order a demarche. Freeze the account.
You're not there yet.
I'm not there yet. 9/11 cost $500,000. If he is real, what do you think he can do with 20 times that amount of money? We have to chase this down. Just order a demarche and freeze the account.
Is there anything else?
Not willing to give up, he secretly reaches out to the Treasury Department and convinced his colleague so that she can help uncover more details about the suspicious account, even though this is not officially allowed. And together, they manage to freeze another account. Soon, Greer receives information that an account has been frozen, and he immediately understands that this must be Ryan's doing. And angry, he calls Ryan into his office and confronts him.
And you went behind my back and froze that account.
That was Treasury's call.
You've been doing this for how long?
Almost 4 years.
Wow. I am impressed. Now, let's say that you're actually right. What do you think he does when he finds out a state entity has frozen his bank account? He cuts bait, and you get
How
nothing.
many people you know walk away from $9 million?
Which is why we could have sat on that bank, tracked every courier who came and went, and wrapped up the whole goddamn network.
Could have just watched the front door of the bank while they walked out, pulled off the next 9/11, and we didn't do a thing.
I got in my office.
Greer starts looking into Ryan's background, where he discovers that before joining this department, Ryan was part of U.S. Marine Department and had strong potential, which explains his aggressive approach. Meanwhile, the story shifts to Yemen, where some CIA operatives are following a bank manager who is in the same bank where the account of Suleiman has been feezed, and the manager meets with two other people. But due to some technical issue, operatives are unable to clearly hear the conversations, so they kidnap them. At the same time, Ryan ends up going to Joe's birthday party, where Joe asks for Ryan's help, as he wants to know the insider trading secrets, but Ryan refuses to help him.
What the State Department is saying about North Korea.
Not that kind of State Department.
I'm not asking for top secret info.
Joe, I wish I could help you.
Enjoy the party.
Way to really piss off the host.
I'm Jack.
Kathy.
Oh, no, you are Joe's daughter. Listen what I said about your dad.
Don't worry about it. And what about you?
State Department.
Dr. Ryan, I need you to come with me.
I don't know, maybe I could...
Sir, we have to go.
That account you froze, SAD and Yemeni PSO picked up somebody. You're the one that knows all this financial shit, so I need you there to make sure they know what questions to ask.
Whoa! What? No, I can't go to Yemen. I'm an analyst. I don't interrogate people, I write reports.
Get on the plane.
At the interrogation site, the two captured men are brought in, and one of them is identified as Omar Rabini. And Ryan realized that this man might be connected to the suspicious financial activity, and to confirm, he calls a number linked to a special account, and Omar's phone starts ringing, proving the connection.
Omar Rabini, Saudi. He said he was here on business.
Did you say one of them had a phone? Same number as the transfers.
Ding, ding, ding. Looks like we have a winner.
ما فيش بريء. اتكلم أحسن لك.
I need some air.
Outside the facility, a group of men arrives with several dead bodies and tells the soldiers to check them. So the soldiers inspect the bodies, and after the deal, they buy them and then move them inside. However, one of the dead bodies is actually a man pretending to be dead, and his name is Ali. He secretly comes out from among the bodies and starts moving inside the facility without being noticed.
Get these old boys in the cooler till Doc can ID them.
Do you do this often? Kidnapping innocent people off the street?
I'm an analyst. How'd you get those scars on your hand?
It's an old one from when I was a boy.
In Lebanon? How do you know him?
He's my client.
Have you ever heard the name Suleiman?
It's a common name. You have to be more specific.
$20 says he wants more money.
مصطفى اسمعني.
We need to secure the front gate!
I drop this and we all die.
هات لي مفاتيح من العسكر. I thought you were an analyst.
I thought you were a bodyguard.
اطلع!
Ryan returns to Washington after the intense fight, and he is in pain from his injuries, and soon he and Greer attends a high-level meeting where officials are discussing the recent attack and the man behind it, who in fact is Suleiman. Some officials believe that Suleiman is part of ISIS, but Ryan disagrees, as he explains that he has studied Suleiman carefully and believes he is not working for ISIS, and instead he has his own group which is highly trained and well-planned. And Ryan also points out how they use dead bodies to hide identities, showing how organized and strategic they are.
How is it you know so much about this guy, and we're hearing about him for the first time?
I was just following the money, sir. Groups like ISIS, they make most of their money from smuggling or seized oil reserves in Iraq and Syria. The account we froze was from a European bank. The money's been washed so many times, there's no way we could locate just one source.
We all know part of ISIS's MO.
That's not proof, Jim.
When he came to me with this Suleiman, I was skeptical too. Not anymore. I've seen firsthand. The men that hit this site were coordinated, well-trained. They knew exactly where they were going and what their objective was. They even carried away their dead, so we couldn't ID them.
CTC Europe should head this.
Nate, we found this guy. This should go to TFAD.
TFAD will still follow the money, and whatever you find, you'll share with CTC Europe. I'm sure they could use the help.
The president's flying back from Camp David. I need options to put in front of him by morning.
Go to work.
What just happened? Did I say something wrong?
Greer reassures him that the decision was not because of him, and he notices that Ryan is physically uncomfortable and advises him to get a medical checkup, so Ryan agrees and goes for it. Ryan visits a doctor after tweaking his back, and the doctor explains that his L4 and L5 vertebrae are fused with some scar tissue inflammation and a moderate lumbar sprain, so the doctor recommends ice, core strengthening, and yoga for recovery. But Ryan declines pain medication.
I didn't know the Coast Guard picked people up for bad lettuce.
Rains, lots of mottos. Hey, listen, I really am sorry.
Apology accepted.
What about dinner? Give you a call?
I asked my dad about you. He said you're one of the smartest guys he's ever met. Righteous. Those were his words.
Those were his words.
Yep. See you soon.
Rain Man, my office. Suleiman's cell phone. He left it in Yemen. That bad boy has got full disk encryption and an 8-digit passcode.
Whoa, where are you going?
We got something to take care of. I'll be back in an hour.
I'll be right up.
Jack, thanks for coming by.
Not a problem.
Thank you for your service. Why don't we have a seat? I liked what you said in the morning brief. How would you find him? Suleiman.
We got to figure out a way to get inside his head. We need to see what it is that's motivating him. Everything he's doing, it just feels more specific, more calculated. Look at the way he collected money.
I gave CTC Europe the lead on this, but I need people like you.
With all due respect, that was Greer who put the surveillance team on the bank.
His talents don't translate well to headquarters. You, on the other hand, I could see you being the in-house point person for the Suliman task force. I mean, an op like this, it's a career maker.
Do you mind if I took a little time to think about it?
Sure.
Ryan spends time trying to crack Suleiman's phone password, and he repeatedly reviews videos from Suleiman's previous interrogations and studies his activities carefully. Greer checks in and asks how things are going, and Ryan explains that tracking Suleiman is very complicated because if even 10 password attempts fail, the phone will lock and all the data could be lost. And despite this, Ryan manages to find the right password by tracing Suleiman's contacts and using a hint from a previously known number. Once the phone is unlocked, Greer and Ryan review the information and present it to a committee member, and Nathan is also called in, and he asks Ryan what he wants to do next, to which Ryan says that they need to track Suleiman further, and to investigate connections, Ryan and Greer need to go to France. The story shifts to Yemen where Suleiman meets Ali, and Ali asks why he is being sent to Paris, so Suleiman explains it is because he trusts him, and they hug, and shortly after Ali departs for Paris. Back home, Suleiman returns to his family where Hanin is preparing food for everyone, and Hanin notices a suspicious man looking at their daughter named Sarah inappropriately, so she sends Sarah inside for safety. Later, while Sarah and Samir are playing football, the ball goes out the window, and when Sarah goes to retrieve it, the suspicious man tries to harass her, but Samir intervenes and protects her, and Sarah runs to her mother crying and asks why these dangerous men were allowed in their home, and her mother reassures her that she will always protect her.
Captain Sandrine Arnaud, Lieutenant Tariq Lapointe. If I give an order, I expect it to be followed. We can talk on the way.
We've been tracking the cell number you gave us.
There were 7 more calls to the same apartment.
This Suleiman, you said he was from France. Is he planning something here?
We don't know what his target is, but we know someone's financing him. He came here to pick up the cash and try to transfer it back to his cells, most likely using an app called Track Euro.
It allows you to load money onto SIM cards.
You want a gun?
Oh, I don't think I'm allowed to have
This
it.
here's your mag release.
قد وقت بعد بدك؟ فيني encore 15 ou 20 minutes. Je vais te rappeler. Allez. انتوا اللي عم تبيع بالبعض، حطوهم بعد الشنطة هاي.
Hang back.
There's an ambulance downstairs. Go!
Bougez pas! déclaration de la police sur la récente attaque.
This one fought in Syria. He came back 6 months ago.
We're using Trach-Euro.
The story briefly shifts to a location in Syria where a man is shown praying with his son, and after finishing the prayer, he rides away. But suddenly a drone strike hits him, carried out by a U.S. Air Force drone pilot named Victor.
We sent units to check the train, but we didn't find him.
Somebody check the hospitals?
No one with his description was admitted.
Fleury-Mérogis sent over Moussa bin Suliman's prison records. In 23 months, he only had one visitor, his brother, Ali bin Suliman.
Wait, that's the man I chased.
The address he used to sign into visitation is in the 93.
93 department.
A Muslim neighborhood. We can arrange a team and be there in less than an hour.
À peu près.
If you pull your weapon to shoot, you shoot.
Hanin is becoming increasingly worried about her family's safety, and she now understands the dangerous activities her husband is involved in and believes that her children are not safe anymore. Hanin secretly meets a man who gives her passports for herself and the children so they can escape, and she hides the passports inside a container of rice in the kitchen. However, one of Suleiman's men sees her hiding them and reports it to Suleiman. Meanwhile, Ali has reached a neighborhood where he hides in a house belonging to a man named Omar, and Omar is surprised that Ali came there instead of going to a hospital. And during their conversation, it is revealed that Omar's wife died of cancer 3 years ago. Omar notices that Ali still draws, and he shows him some old drawings and family pictures, so Ali becomes emotional looking at them, and it is revealed that Suleiman and Ali were the two boys who survived a massacre in Lebanon in 1983.
Okay, I understand how a kid with no options, no future, gets seduced by extremism, but how does it happen to somebody like him? I mean, he graduates from the University of Paris-Dauphine, top 5% of his class.
We have an entire generation of Muslims living here who have no jobs, no prospects. You think a piece of paper changes the way the world is? In America, you can still be an African and an American. You can be a Mexican American, an Italian American. In France, there are no hyphenates. You are either French or you are not.
While staying at Omar's house, Ali plays a video game to secretly communicate with Suleiman, and he informs him that things have gone wrong and that French and American forces are after him. Suleiman tells Ali to leave Paris immediately or everything will be lost, and he also instructs him not to leave any witnesses behind. So Ali looks sadly at Omar and his children, realizing he may have to eliminate them to protect the mission. Soon, Ryan and the police reach the neighborhood, so Greer goes to a mosque and shows Ali's photo to locals, while Ryan and Sandrine continue investigating and the police raid Omar's house.
How could you be in the CIA, knowing everything your government does?
Well, I figure it's better to be on the inside. Maybe be able to change something than be on the outside and not be able to change anything.
What do you do for them?
I'm an analyst.
I think you have everyone fooled. I think you are a wolf who plays at being a sheep. Keep up.
Et quand il a débarqué chez moi en sang, maintenant je soigne juste quelques voisins, c'est tout.
Pas ici, fait rien.
They don't like this game? Who's playing the game?
L'homme qui était ici.
The man was here.
Suleiman and the children are playing a game, and he invites Hanin to join them. And while they are sitting together, Suleiman tells the children a story about how he once proposed to their mother. And during this moment, he quietly takes the passports from the jar and throws them into the fire, burning them. And Hanin watches this in shock and fear, because she realizes her escape plan has been discovered. That night, after everyone goes to sleep, Hanin secretly wakes up her children, and she plans to take them and escape from the house in the darkness before Suleiman or his men can stop them. The two daughters quickly agree to go with her, but her son Samir refuses, and instead of leaving, he runs toward his father and starts shouting, so she takes a car and escapes from the house. Samir tells Suleiman that his mother and sisters have run away, so Suleiman immediately sends 2 of his men to find Hanin and bring her back. And while escaping, Hanin's car breaks down on the road. With no other option, she decides to walk with her daughters to the nearest town.
There he is. We're getting units in place to intercept.
Intercept? Shouldn't we follow him, see where he's going?
And risk more lives?
He's going to meet someone. Whatever he's planning is a hell of a lot worse than what happened in that apartment.
If we're wrong, you get to take him before he reaches the border.
We follow him, but he doesn't cross the border.
You ride with her.
Silver Nissan. Never seen it in this area.
Who's he looking for?
We're just gonna watch these girls get robbed.
Request permission to engage.
Come on. We gotta do something.
Sir, I've got a shot.
You do not have authorization to take that shot. Do you hear me? Acknowledge my order. tombstone, you are relieved of your post.
Get me an MP.
Yes, sir, I'm here. I see. Yes, sir.
You have been lucky.
You earned it.
Ali is driving through snowy mountains while trying to escape, and he is injured because he has already been shot earlier. And while he is on the road, a police officer stops his car. The officer becomes suspicious when he notices that Ali looks injured, and Ali secretly prepares to pull out his gun and shoot the officer. But at the last moment, the officer lets him go, and he warns Ali that the road ahead is slippery and dangerous, and tells him to drive carefully, so Ali quickly leaves the place. Meanwhile, Ryan and Sandrine are tracking Ali's location through a GPS signal, and they are following him from a distance, where Sandrine thinks that following Ali like this is risky and that they should try to capture him immediately.
You saw the same message I did. He's meeting someone. This way, he leads us back to his cell, or he leads us to a location of an attack they're planning. Yes, it's a gamble, but it's one worth taking.
So you know what Islam means? Submission. That's what they want. They want us to bow to their way of life. This country is being taken over from the inside. It's not even French anymore. And if we're not careful, if we keep letting them in, it's Sharia for all of us. Am I right? What's that?
I use it when I'm unable to pray, or when I need Allah to grant me restraint.
The scene then shifts to Syria, where Suleiman meets Radwan in a nearby town, and they talk privately, where Radwan taunts Suleiman that he heard Suleiman's wife has left him, and that Suleiman is trying to bring another community under his control. Radwan says he will not allow this because he is the leader of that area, and Suleiman then shows him a bag full of money, and uses it to convince him, and Suleiman also buys several American hostages from Radwan. These hostages are doctors from the organization who had been kidnapped earlier, and after the deal, the hostages are loaded into a truck and taken away. When Radwan comes to collect the money for the deal, Suleiman refuses to give the payment directly to him, and instead he starts distributing the money among Radwan's fighters, and Suleiman tells them that he heard they had not received their salaries for months. Once the fighters see the money, they switch sides and become loyal to Suleiman, and when Radwan realizes what is happening, it is already too late, as his own men point guns at him and capture him, and Suleiman's group then leaves the place and travels to their base with the hostages.
حطوه جوا مع الأسرى. تكبير! تكبير!
You lost him.
We lost him. Clear.
The tracks are fresh.
Ryan, down!
Just let me see, let me see, let me see.
Go, go.
Listen to me. Where's the attack?
He discovers that Sandrine has died from her injuries, and later Ryan's colleague advises him not to overthink the situation and suggests he relax and go out. Ryan checks his phone and sees a message from Cathy, and in the message, Cathy says that she is interested in going on a date with him, so Ryan agrees and they meet at a nice restaurant. While talking, Ryan tells Cathy that his father has passed away and he died from lymphoma when Ryan was young. Cathy then asks Ryan about his job at the State Department, but Ryan downplays it and says his job is boring, and he explains that he manages supply logistics, making sure diplomats and officials overseas get the things they need like housing, furniture, computers, and food.
I'm just the guy to make sure the right stuff gets on the right plane or ship.
I won't ask again
either. There you go.
Par la paix éternelle. Que ton règne vienne à ceux qui nous ont offensés. Et souffle du juste par la mort, sois miséricordieux envers ton serviteur.
106 confirmed dead so far.
This morning, he released the following video.
I regret the death of children and women. Our children die every day. Paris was only the beginning.
Sophisticated propaganda. And this last one is a call to arms for all Muslims around the world. Psychopath.
No, that's what he wants you to believe.
Ali Suleimani wasn't just in Paris for the wire transfer, he was in Paris for this.
A friend of mine in the Bureau told me a story. After 9/11, a guy who worked for American Airlines called the FBI tip line to turn himself in. He was working at Dulles the morning of the attacks. Two Middle Eastern fellas come through the line. He happened to look down at their shoes, and he notices they're cheap. 1 hour later, those men flew that Boeing 757. He blamed himself for putting those hijackers onto the plane. But what should he have done? Called airport security because they had dirty shoes? Of course not. And you blaming yourself for this, that's irrational too. Not to mention narcissistic.
Hanin arrives at a refugee checkpoint with her daughters, and she explains that she had to leave her son behind and hopes to bring him later, and she wants to go to Europe, but officials refuse and say that after the Paris attacks, countries are accepting fewer refugees, so she is sent to a refugee camp instead. Back at the intelligence office, Ryan realizes something important about the Paris attack, that the terrorists attacked a church during the funeral of a Catholic priest. Ryan believes Suleiman planned this carefully, and he thinks Suleiman first arranged for the priest to be eliminated days earlier, knowing that the funeral would bring many priests and important people together. Later, Ryan and Greer attend a high-level meeting where officials discuss the attack, and pictures of the 3 attackers are shown on the screen, where one official says the attack is mainly France's problem and that the United States should let France handle it. However, Greer strongly disagrees and argues that this is but a threat to the whole world.
This is not a French problem, this is a world problem.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Jim Greer. If you want to
What
recommend
my
something to the
colleague
president-
here is trying to say is that it is critical that we run point on this.
The game.
They were using a video game system's online messaging app to just pretend that we're Ali. His brother is the only family Suleiman's got.
That's your plan, a video game.
This meeting's over.
Thank you, sir.
So you're the leader of your group?
Dr. Daniel Nadler.
What do you need?
Fresh water, better food, exercise.
Make a list, and I'll make sure you get it.
How long's your son been a diabetic? There is a rare form of diabetes that is congenital, can be treated by an oral medication. Happy to run some tests if you like.
That's generous of you.
In another flashback, Suleiman meets his brother Ali, and Suleiman scolds Ali because he was having a gun. But Ali asks Suleiman about his job, that only his job can improve their lives. Suleiman reflects on how their family and community limit their opportunities, expressing frustration that he has no real chances in life because of where he comes from. Suddenly, 2 police officers arrive there, and Suleiman becomes worried because Ali has a hidden gun.
Tu fermes ta gueule. Allez, ok, on t'a rien demandé.
Salam alaikum.
I can speak English. My husband don't know where I am. We seek political asylum. The attack in Paris, that man is my husband.
Where's your husband now?
I can't tell you that. I can't put my son in danger.
A woman who says she's her good friend's wife.
Tell him to find her, okay? Get her to talk.
Let me guess. Work. I just want to set some parameters for us spending time together. I really love my work. I don't want to get knocked off course. Clearly, you have a lot going on professionally, too.
This is about the helicopter.
No, I just want to keep it casual. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Hanin manages to find a man and tells him that a man from the nearby tent sent her to him, and she asks for help to travel to Europe with her children. The man explains that the journey to Europe is long, dangerous, and very expensive, hinting that she will need money or valuables to make the trip possible, so Hanin takes off her jewelry. Victor's friend asks if he was ordered to take leave starting tomorrow, but Victor becomes frustrated and says that taking a break will not solve anything. He explains that he worked very hard and was among the top students in flight school. However, just before graduation, he was forced to join the drone program instead of becoming a real pilot. He says he feels bad because they sit in a trailer far away and eliminate people by pressing a button like playing a video game. Meanwhile, Ryan prepares to contact Suleiman using the same video game messaging system that Suleiman previously used to communicate with his brother, and the system automatically translates messages between English and French.
Ali?
He's on.
Okay. Address?
Come on, no
Right
ring.
here.
I got the address.
Get ready, yalla, yalla.
All right, what's going on? Well, why isn't he answering?
He's tracing our IP address.
Is that a problem?
No, we expected it. That was 15 years ago. What if they've repainted it?
Oh, he bought it.
He's still online, Jack.
This is some kind of test.
All right, shut it down.
Ryan.
What are you doing? I said shut it down, Ryan. Jesus Christ, he knows who you are.
He's gone.
I knew it.
There's a woman in a Turkish refugee camp who claims she's his wife.
It's her.
Then find her.
At the same time, Greer and Ryan arrive in Turkey to search for Hanin and their local contact. Mueller picks them up at the airport. In Washington, Cathy is working in her office studying the Ebola virus, and her fellow doctor asks her if she has checked the data set that she had shared with her earlier. Cathy explains that she is very worried because she has received some new reports from Liberia, and the IDs in those reports match with an old Ebola virus strain EVD-27 that had already been captured many times before, and Cathy fears that this report could create a big problem. Her fellow doctor tells Cathy not to panic and suggests that she should report this information to the proper government authorities, so Cathy agrees with her. After that, Cathy starts a video call with a doctor named John, and John tells her something shocking, that a patient has been found whose illness is not responding to the vaccine, and this means the EVD-27 virus has turned into a strong strain that is resistant to the vaccine. Cathy becomes very worried because this virus strain had already been considered completely eliminated, and she asks John how it could appear again, and John explains that they traced the source of the infection as the patient had visited a burial site in Liberia where victims of a past outbreak had been buried. John also reveals that 2 men had recently dug up a body from that burial site for a secret deposit or operation, and Cathy is shocked and asks what those men are planning to do with it. However, before John can explain further, the call suddenly disconnects, and then Cathy quickly starts typing an email to an official. Mueller takes Greer and Ryan to meet a man named Tony. Greer offers him a good amount of money in exchange for information.
ماما في لي لحالي.
لك شو عم تعمل هون بين النسوان؟
برا!
Thank you.
The woman we need to find were smuggled out last night. We need to know where they are now.
Well, of course, we'll pay you.
It's a hard journey,
Where? Where are they now? Today.
10,000 now, and 10,000 when we locate the woman.
Give me a minute, then we go. She and her daughters were here. A man arrived, followed them into the latrine. Your woman attacked him. She and her children left on foot. He says she hit him on the head with a rock.
So what happened to him?
He cleaned up and is driving to the coast. Let's go. I swear this gate is new. Maybe his guards need some money.
This feel wrong to you?
I can't tell yet.
They shoot at me.
Why?
They wanted money.
So why didn't you pay them?
They wouldn't take a reasonable amount.
Why are we following this guy?
Okay, maybe you can wait a few weeks until 1 or 2 of them ends up in my stable.
Jack! You can't get anything done in a place like this without a local. Get in the goddamn truck.
Keys to the gate.
Finally, Hanin and the girls reach the coast, and they stand in line with other refugees and wear life jackets while waiting to board a boat that will take them toward Europe. However, Suleiman's man also reaches the same place, and he spots Hanin in the crowd and immediately calls Suleiman to inform him that he has found her location. So Suleiman orders him to bring the girls back, but eliminate Hanin. Soon, Ryan, Greer, and Tony reach the port and start looking for Hanin, and Ryan notices some men taking Hanin's daughters away, and he also sees Suleiman's man nearby and quickly pulls out his gun. But before he can act, several armed men surround Ryan and point their guns at him, putting him in a very dangerous situation.
Bir Arap'la anlaşma yaparak aileme karşı çıkıyorsun. They will give you the woman, but not the children.
No way.
Okay.
Put the weapons on, خلاص. It's just friends here, just friends.
Nereye silahları?
يا أختي.
Okay, we'll be there by then.
Goodbye, Cincinnati.
Do you mind if we speak privately? But if you don't help me, you and your daughters cannot stay.
I had no idea he was going to do what he did.
But you do know where he is. All you have to do is point. I know you left him behind.
I had to leave. I've lost everything. I want your word you will get him back.
And the best chance you have. I got the location.
That's good. You want to know what happened to me in Karachi? I was going after an asset. The guy was a deputy chief of staff of the Pakistani army. Had it all teed up. I knew that he had money problems, a bad marriage, so we meet. In the middle of the talk, he changes his mind. He wants to throw me in a Pakistani prison where I'm going to spend the next 10 years. I stabbed him, walked out before anybody noticed, and he died right at the table. 3 days before his daughter's wedding. Guy had 4 other kids, and I keep thinking, was there anything else I could have said? Publicly, the Pakistanis said he died of a heart attack. There is no version of this job that doesn't require compromise.
I believe you can make a difference.
I used to believe the same thing.
Ryan is at the CIA headquarters waiting for Greer and Nathan Singer. Greer asks Ryan about Hanin and her children, so Ryan explains that they have been taken to the United States and are being kept safely in a secure house. The team has confirmed the location with satellite images and is setting up constant drone surveillance, and they are waiting for visual confirmation that Suleiman is at the site. Meanwhile, the president is prepared to approve a halo insertion. An eliminating team is already in position.
One male combatant down.
Any other questions?
Who gets to keep the blonde?
What side of the bed does he sleep on?
Here, he keeps a rifle by the bed.
This is us going through that door, not you.
Meanwhile, in Syria, Suleiman calls Samir and tells him that his mother is dead because she made a deal with their enemies. And he also tells Samir that his sister is returning home. And Suleiman promises Samir that he will do something that will make their enemies pay for what they have done. The team discusses options, but ultimately, Ryan emphasizes that neutralizing the threat through a strike could destroy critical intelligence, so they should carry out a ground operation.
Sir, we've had a JSOC team training for this for 36 hours.
Blue trained for a month before the Abbie raid.
Ryan, why would the president risk American lives when he doesn't have to?
An airstrike may very well kill Suleiman, but you will not neutralize the threat to the United States and to its allies. This is an international organization. Sir, you drop a bomb and we lose all vital intelligence on his larger operation.
I believe Dr. Ryan has made his position very clear.
A ground assault is off the table.
The two officers from the U.S. Army Medical Research Institute come to meet Cathy, and one officer tells her that Carr is waiting for her downstairs, so she must come with them, and Cathy is then taken to the U.S. Army Medical Research Institute, where she is questioned about the work she previously did in West Africa related to the Ebola virus. During the meeting, Greer and Ryan is also called there, and earlier, Ryan had told Cathy that he was just an investigator from the State Department. So when Cathy sees Ryan in the high-level official meeting, she becomes surprised, and Ryan also tries to avoid eye contact.
You spent time on the ground in Liberia, is that right? This was taken at Roberts Airport 6 months ago. Do you recognize either of these two men?
This is the man from the video from the attack in Paris.
The other man is his brother.
Dr. Mueller, we believe that the body you reported missing was stolen by these two men and flown by private plane to Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan?
The Caucasus region is notorious for Soviet scientist defectors. They set themselves up at universities with research grants, and they use the labs for black biology, creating bioweapons to be sold on the black market.
What we're asking is it possible that these two men found a way to weaponize Ebola?
Like all Ebola strains, is transmitted directly through bodily fluids. Yes, it's possible.
Cathy, I'm not allowed to say that I was in Yemen.
Was any of it real?
Of course it was. I would never lie to you.
Good luck, Jack.
There is a high-level intelligence briefing with the president, and the team shows satellite images confirming Suleiman's compound and monitors movement patterns which have not changed for 72 hours. They also report a significant development that a dozen hostages are at the compound, including 12 Doctors Without Borders physicians, 4 of whom are American, including Dr. Daniel Nadler.
We're at the main entry. 2, 1. Got a cooking fire. Still hot. Exterior courtyard empty. Clear. Clear. Interior courtyard empty.
Something's wrong.
Clear. Moving to target bedroom. Open!
Commence SSE.
He knew we were coming.
We're Americans. Hands in the air. Come on, move.
There's a tunnel under the compound. There's lots of ways out.
Hey. And him?
He's one of them.
Prepare for extraction. Standing by at the rally point.
That's a negative on the boy. He ain't here either.
Anything electronic goes, guys. You know the drill.
12 hostages are coming home to their families.
But we didn't find him.
What makes you think this boy can still be saved? When his mother and sisters fled, he stayed. He chose to stay. He chose his father.
Ryan watches the news, which shows that the hostages have safely returned home, and their families are very happy to see them. Ryan meets Cathy at a restaurant to talk with her again, and Cathy says that if something happens to Ryan, how will they live together again? So Ryan tries to calm her and tells her that they will face and handle this situation together. And after hearing this, Cathy finally agrees to help him. Meanwhile, Tarek shows some important papers to Greer that were found in Suleiman's base, and he asks the team to call Ryan quickly so he can examine them.
Those poor people. What they went through.
We found a clipping of the president and Nadler.
And he knew the president would send for them. It's the hostages.
He's not building a biological weapon. They are the weapon.
The president, Congress members, and cabinet are under a 21-day quarantine, and the president is being moved to a secret location, and the CIA and military are working hard to track down Suleiman, who has been staying ahead of them. Ryan wakes up from a bad nightmare, so Cathy asks him what happened, and Ryan tells her about a past incident from Afghanistan.
Helicopter crash. There was this kid, he'd take your picture, and then he'd charge you $10 for it. We were extracting this family. They had been marked as collaborators by the Taliban. And Saeem kept begging me to take him with us. He just said he wanted to go someplace safe. It's my decision to put him on the helo.
He was on the helicopter with you?
He was on the helicopter because of me. It's all my Marines, all those people. I was just ended up dead because of me. I'm gonna take a shower.
I hope you enjoyed your flight, Mr. Mizrahi.
My son's here for a medical procedure. He requires a liver transplant.
Sorry to hear that. Welcome to the United States.
Thank you so much.
Early this morning, a Maryland dock worker checked himself into the ER. He was suffering from acute radiation poisoning. Cesium-137 is the same isotope that caused the disaster at Chernobyl. We traced the contamination back to a cargo container at the port of Baltimore.
He would be just a few hours' drive from every major city on the eastern
You
seaboard.
could be looking at a nuclear fallout that could last for 30 years and kill thousands. So we're also looking at locations where the body count will be highest.
How much cesium would you need to have the fallout you're talking about?
50, 60 kilograms.
Doesn't that look small to you? What if he's not trying to kill thousands of people? What if the outbreak is just part one of a larger objective?
What does Ebola have to do with cesium?
I don't know yet.
Ryan meets with Hanin and says he needs more information about Suleiman, but Hanin angrily asks him if he even cares about her son, but Ryan replies that it is not like that. Earlier, when the U.S. forces reached Suleiman's base, they could not find Suleiman there, and it seems that Suleiman somehow found out about the operation and escaped, but Hanin says that she cannot help them anymore, and Sarah is sitting on the stairs and secretly hears this entire conversation. Then Ibrahim goes to a pizza shop, and he sits there for a while and leaves a bag containing a bomb, and after going outside, he makes a phone call, which triggers the bomb. Investigators from the Nuclear Emergency Support Team have checked the bomb site and confirmed that the bomb used in the pizzeria was only plastic explosives, not cesium. And this surprises Ryan because they believe the terrorists plan to use radioactive material. Suddenly, Ryan realizes something important, and he asks where the injured people from the explosion are being taken. So Greer says they are being transported to Washington Memorial Hospital. Ryan immediately understands the real plan, that the pizzeria explosion was only a distraction because the ambulances and chaos could allow terrorists to secretly enter the hospital.
Here, you'll need to wear these so we know you're the good guys.
Can I help you guys?
He may have been using all this chaos to sneak a dirty bomb into the hospital.
POTUS first, then we'll worry about the others. I'll deploy my guys to search the hospital.
What's going on?
Dr. Mueller, I'm gonna need you and your people to clear this floor immediately. General evac has to wait.
This is an emergency evacuation.
Dispatch, this is 3 Romeo Baker. Do you have a description on those suspects?
Hey!
It's all right.
Baba! Samir!
Cuff him.
Waterfront station.
Ibnak Mai!
He's gonna be all right?
Yep.
You did good, real good, for an analyst.
Mama!
You were right not to give up on him. You saved that kid's life.
We'll see.
4 months later in Morocco, an officer finds Ibrahim's location and shoots him to death. And after the mission ends, Greer is transferred to Moscow, where Singer tells Ryan that he will become the head of the department in Greer's place.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is that it?
I guess so. See you around, bright boy.
Ready to see you now, Dr. Ryan?
So the reason I wanted to see you is obviously there's a vacancy that needs to be filled, and I can't think of a better man for the job than you.
Thank you, sir.
You impressed a lot of people with your work on the task force. Congratulations and good luck.
I hope you guys enjoyed the recap, and if you did, then be sure to check out other awesome movies and series on the channel. And as always, thank you very much for watching.